the first for once.
Oh, I have a new follow of Psychic Space Cow. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Guys, OC really quick. I just realized we haven't made a group name yet. It's been 23 seconds. And we don't have a group name.
The Turtle Friends.
Also, somebody brought up the thing with Cthulhu earlier. Have we actually finished that side quest, or no?
What?
No. I don't think so, at least.
Oh yeah, the relic.
Shit.
You guys have actually had not done many side quests, actually.
Shit. We need to do that.
How many side quests do we have that we haven't finished?
Well, there was one that you had
Enough.
for that shop. Well, you had that one with the shop owner. Cadenza had initially. That didn't
Well,
go
that,
through.
there's no way.
Cadenza now owns.
There's no point in
Yeah,
finishing
he
that. That side quest is
Except for making her more money with our shop.
that's a quest fail.
Then
No.
there was
Quest
She,
transfer.
You
she's
have the
hunting
relic
for an employee for the shop right now.
you have the relic one. You also keep in mind there's also the one thing with Arek, that werewolf that escaped.
True.
Yeah.
But what about the Hunter of Knowledge? That thing that
That's
Nether.
my side quest.
Yeah.
That's
As far
That's a personal side quest, not a group one.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
my personal side quest. You can't really count
and then
that.
you also have one from a long time ago, which was to meet up with that Tiefling Inquisitor.
So
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna guess that my
Oh, I
side
forgot about
quest
that.
was actually part of the main quest.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that happens. I mean, my side quest, one of them got taken care of during the main quest.
well, in one way or another.
Hey.
My side quest is just later down the road. We can't really do much about it.
My camera.
yeah, mine is kind of just collecting things.
You're just like, I gotta collect things. I gotta take back my country.
I just found a
Or
picture
my city
of,
state.
I think I just found a picture of Rorik in that session where Neo left.
Okay,
Posted
so
it in a
are we
memes.
ready?
My cam isn't
Yep.
showing, which is really.
Do you need some- do we still need to
My
add anything
webcam
else, or
isn't
shall we
showing
get
on my
started?
stream.
What was that?
Shall we get started now, or do we need to wait for one thing?
We can get started.
Yeah,
I
we
have
need
no
to wait
idea
for-
why my
for
webcam's not
more.
showing, but whatever.
Okay.
We can fill War in
Oh, well.
when he gets here.
Yeah, just fill Warren, right? Okay, so
Oof.
let's go ahead and get started. So, where we last left off, you all had returned to Delarim after completing your initial quest that you had stumbled upon in Athenia, which was to deal with the threat that was impacting that province. And while it doesn't seem like you received all the answers, you had at the very least established peace within that province with the new shepherd. When you returned, you were given a great amount of wealth from Amin al-Din, as he was quite thankful for for you all taking care of his product. He also after conversing with him, he mentioned to you that he believed a person named Van Her, who is in Ruvan, that might have something to deal with the Drow, and suggests that if you all decide to take care of him by whatever means necessary, he will reward you greatly. As he had mentioned before, that he had dealings with him in the past, and he was the only one who really had any sort of connection to the Drow. As you all had begun discussing and with your new companion, War, you were all approached by a few guards who recognized a few of you as having received assisting in the Inquisition. And you all had noticed that when you arrived that there was this eerie situation about it. That there was among the people, it seemed that it was almost barren, and that the only ones there were either were uniformed soldiers and those who were hidden. When you went inside, you had a bit of a standoff with what you figured out to be members of the Inquisition who were dealing with a bit of trouble that had emerged from the temple. You met up with Father Avitus once more, and he explained how there was this strange occurrence that happened. That while they were researching and performing the dissections of the people who were victims of the wargs from your guys' first session, he mentions that there were people who were not had any sort of health issues whatsoever began to change, just like the people that had been attacked and killed by the wargs. You all decided to help Father Avitus in clearing out the room. But as you did so, there was a bit of a turn of events. For within this temple, there were also a mysterious figure draped in red. Couldn't tell who it was, but he had with him a bit of a retinue that protected him as he performed something upon the altar. And after that performance, a hand had shot out, and emerged was a skeletal body dressed in armor. You notice that Father Avitus was quite enraged by this, and as well as other members of the Inquisition, and desperately tried fighting to get to this supposed leader. Although they had escaped, you had been able to successfully clear out the temple. But you also noticed that there were a few that are still around, not dead, but you consider to be captured. One of which you had knocked unconscious as what was needed, but you also discovered one that seemed to be untouched, yet just standing there. This one. Not moving at all. Nothing. Still as a statue. So,
Who is this one? Because nothing.
what are you all doing right now?
We're still showing in the temple basement, and we still need to loot bodies.
All right.
For those who can.
So go ahead and make an investigation check.
All right. Am I there too? I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone's
You may
there.
go ahead and do an investigation check as well.
All right. Thank you. So investigation. That is +7. And I got an 11.
All right.
13.
13.
I forgot how to do that. I forgot how to roll die.
slash roll 1d20.
There's also this little bar at the side where you can roll it.
Investigation.
15. I'll take it.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Okay.
Conch.
Anyone else?
Oh, Mason, I missed you.
Okay.
Miss you too, Mako.
Would someone be willing to roll for war?
Okay, what's his modifier?
Oh yeah, none of us have a sheet.
I'll pull it up.
Okay.
Okay, so you roll a 10. That's gonna make it easy for me to calculate.
Yep.
Okay. So war, he got. Okay. He got 12. So as you looked among the bodies, you noticed among the ones that were part of the initial slaughter that you guys committed, doesn't really seem to be anything on them except except remnants of their clothing. And as you looked upon, and for those who looked upon the those new arrivals, for lack of better terms, you nothing. You don't see really anything except it's just almost just their flesh and these fungal-like growths on them. Nothing that really seemed to show them holding anything of value.
Ugh, these things are gross.
So there's nothing on any of them, essentially?
From what you can find with those rolls, yes.
With those rolls, yes.
Well, fuck this, I'm out of here.
We should probably talk to Father Avitus.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up to Father Abatus and be like, alright, what the hell was that? What the hell are those things? And what the fuck are you guys holding in your hands?
And what are those?
I was waiting for someone to say that. Anyways,
You're
I
welcome.
would like to be filled in a little bit more.
well, as you approach Father Avitus, you can tell his mood seems to have changed, and you notice that his clothes definitely seem to be partly torn because of the creatures that had assaulted him.
Hey,
And,
Harold, I cast mending on his clothes to fix them.
Okay.
It's just like,
Wait, that's
So before
a spell?
you guys had a chance
Yeah,
to see
mending is a spell.
whatever sort of a sort of hint of what Avitus might be, his clothes are mended.
God damn it.
oh well.
Can I roll perception to see how well they're mended together?
You may.
I can tell you, they're back to new, good as new.
Alright, so that's perception, that's plus
I
8.
guess let me clarify. Let me clarify, Rourke.
Yes.
Are you trying to get a peek as to what was seen before his clothes were mended?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I'll allow that.
Oof, I got a 10.
I wasn't in any rush to fix them. I was just, it was
From
just...
what you saw, you can't really tell the race, but you can definitely tell that his skin was, or what you assume to be his skin, seemed to be rather dark, and was almost as if there were carelessly cut lines into it.
Oh my god, is he an Earth Nazi?
I don't think so. That sounds like he might have feathers.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Burb. Are we gonna have a Kiri?
Keep in mind, Kenku are actually much shorter than
Oh yeah,
just-
definitely.
what Avitus is.
Harold, did you just put SCP-49 into our campaign?
You wish.
No, I don't, actually. That would be terrifying. And it would make a
Yeah.
lot
Poor
of sense.
child.
Doctor,
Well-
the
It
plague
would make way too much sense given the name of the campaign is the Great Pandemic.
True. Well,
Anyways, so to answer yours, in response to you, another, Avitus turns and looks. You can definitely tell his body language seems to be one that he is not in the best of moods, and says, in a tone that's rather odd from what you've known him. It seems to be much lower and not showing any sort of energy behind it.
Or his fake friendliness from before.
I wish I knew. As for this, hold, and he gestures to the mysterious weapon in his hand. This is a unique weapon, specifically issued to the Inquisition. And he tucks this mysterious weapon into his coat.
Can I get a look at the weapon? See
Yeah.
if I can discern what
What's
it
your
is.
passive perception?
My passive perception. That is that my passive perception is an 18.
Okay, yeah. You can you don't even need to roll for it. But you notice that it seems to be a mix of, on one end it seems to be like there's this short tube of metal. And you see what appears to be some sort of mechanism on one end while there's an opening on the other side. And you also notice that there seems to be a little cord that goes along it. So the best way to describe it, for you, Dark, is and I'm just saying this for your sake, just for visual. But think of a flintlock pistol.
Okay.
Could I roll to see if my character's seen it too?
What's your perception?
It's an 11 passive.
I would say no.
Ah,
He texted it rather quickly. And welcome, War. We just actually pretty much just started.
yep.
Can I roll an intimidation check to get Father Abatus to tell us why they were hiding behind closed doors and what they were doing in this temple?
Oh man, I missed a party.
That was last game's.
Can I?
Can you roleplay it out for me, just so I have an idea?
Cadenza crosses her arms under her bosom and to Father Abatus, the annoyance in her face as her brows are furrowed. Your doors were closed. We were initially pushed away, and we had to deal with that as she gestures to the giant mess on the floor. Think it's time to tell us what the Inquisition is really up to?
Alright, go ahead and roll for... I would actually say, from your words, I would say roll persuasion.
Oh, even better.
I'm scared.
My persuasion is as good as Rorik's perception, guys.
Oh jeez.
Fucking great.
Father Abatus, for the first time, releases a sigh. And looks to you, Cadenza. What you are seeing here is as much as we know. As for what happened here at the temple, this is trying to figure out as to what's causing all this. We've never seen anything like it. And as for that damned thing, as he glances over, but you can tell from his mask, the way his head shifts as he's glancing at the altar. There's something more at play here than we initially thought.
So the Inquisition also has no idea.
As much as I hate to say it, that is correct.
Isn't it sort of your guys' job to know what's going on?
Yes, but there are some things that we have never witnessed before, and this happens to be one of those times.
I get the slight inkling that I'm the only one here who's confused.
No, you're
Who
not
are
the
you
only one.
people? I don't know any of you. I just got here.
And you did a ton of butchering, by the way.
Yeah.
Like you actually,
Yeah.
you see all those in the hall.
I mean, if things need killing, I'll kill it. But like,
Yeah.
what am I doing here?
That's exactly why you were here.
Right. Am I getting paid for this?
Yes.
Good. How much?
Cadenza gestures to Father Abatus. You're better off asking him.
He's paying us? Why are you questioning him? The man's paying us.
Because he's paid us before and didn't tell us all the details, so it's time
And
for us to
why
know
you
more.
that makes no more, so why are you still questioning him if he's paying you? Who cares what he's doing? He's paying you, doesn't matter. Not our problem.
Probably with this
Foot
kind of
soldiers.
business.
Unlike
Questions.
you,
Yes.
we sort of have morals.
Eh,
Some of
That'll
Cadenza?
slow you down.
Morals? What?
Some of
Oh
them.
boy.
Cadenza only has morals when it comes to Neo, for the record.
Oh, God. Maybe the information would help us in doing the job. Maybe that's another good reason to know.
That's pretty much the only reason we need to know.
Also,
No,
so we
they're-
don't
they're cracking
fuck it up on
knuckles.
accident.
And especially if we want to find the necromancer who first place.
Necromancers. Fun.
I didn't know
Very
about the
fun.
necromancer. Why didn't anybody tell me?
He summoned a giant skeleton.
Wait, there was a giant skeleton?
Wait. I can't
They were
remember.
they were in the other room, so they didn't know.
Oh! Shit.
Yeah, did
Yeah.
out of
I feel
character?
like
Did
I
my
had-
character see the
Oh, yeah.
necromancer?
Well,
The
it-
necromancer left. Right,
Well,
we didn't kill it.
Wait,
yeah,
wait, wait.
the one that you saw, the figure that you saw on the altar, had left with that,
Oh, that's
the
what.
skeleton.
I thought the necromancer was earlier. I thought that was before my character jumped in.
No.
Oh, okay, never mind
No,
then.
that was a necromancer.
Look, I feel like I had
Wow.
a general lapse in memory. I don't know what's going on.
Apparently, I don't either.
Also,
Well, all we know
where am I
is that he defiled the altar to Saint Vanez.
Who was controlling war last session?
I was.
Where are my spell slots at?
You've used, I think, one or two of them.
I've only got 2, so you better find out.
Actually, he didn't.
Did I
I can
use
actually
any?
confirm for you. The war didn't use any.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Hadn't-
Yeah,
Oh,
you used
okay.
War's cantrips, you didn't use his spells.
It was only
Oh, yeah,
cantrips.
cantrips, yep,
So
sorry.
war is perfectly fine on spell slots.
Still melting face without using spell.
You didn't need them.
Yes.
You did. You really did actually.
Well, maybe.
But yeah.
I almost got Rourke,
He did-
though.
He did pretty good without them.
Am I still full health or what?
Oh,
You only took some minor damage.
yeah, some minor damage.
I would say at most you lost like 8 points.
I thought I messaged it to you.
Killed, but Rourke should be
I think
40
he
out of
did,
51
yeah.
right now, by the way.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, I messaged you about that, Sonia.
Yeah, I think
So as you all are conversing amongst each other, you notice that two of the one of the members one of the Inquisitors actually approaches Avitus and begins whispering to him.
Can I see if I can hear him?
Go ahead, make a perception check.
Can I also do that?
Wait. Hold on. Whispering to each other. Don't you think it would be nice to share?
I heard nothing.
Wait, I heard nothing
I
from
have
either.
14.
I'm trying to listen. So just make it perception
Hey.
plus 8.
Herald.
So plus 8.
Yes.
I have the observant feat. What are they saying?
17.
All right. I'll add that
can-
in a moment. Okay.
I can read lips.
Yep, I know.
Good thing you can, I
Roar
can't.
and Roar can actually hear this.
Can Cadenza hear it?
Unfortunately, not.
Not with her roll.
Not barely missed it.
Okay.
Oof.
So you hear the for those who hear, you hear the Inquisitor whisper that the body of the saint has been taken. What are we supposed to do now with this temple? And you hear the Father Avitus whisper back, "We must keep this place closed. We cannot let news of this spread. It will cause great panic among the people."
No, they're just gonna walk up and like put his face like right in theirs, be like, "So, what you guys talking about? Secrets? You know it's not nice."
secrets over here.
Well, if we're talking about secrets, the Inquisitor says as he points towards the mask that Nether's still wearing. The drow mask.
You know what? My days, I made a lot of dumb mistakes. This mask is one of them.
Is that a curse mask? Did you put a curse mask on?
Yes, she
I didn't
did.
know it
Yeah.
was cursed.
That's hilarious.
It's stuck
could-
on the
you
face.
seriously could have asked any one of us to check to see if it was cursed.
But he didn't.
You know, when you're in a cave and you find a mask, you don't think it's cursed.
I could have identified
you-
it.
Well,
You do. That's what.
Hey.
And
caves
Nether,
masks
you will be
do.
close enough to hear this, and War, you will be able to hear this too, as well as Rorik. You just hear the Inquisitor whisper to Father Avitus. I think one of them's a little bit of a freak, if you know what I mean.
I'm
In
just
all
gonna let out a
fairness,
little chuckle.
if you find a way to get the mask off, let me know.
Why do you want to know?
I have my own reasons.
I think we found the freak.
Out of character, is this the thing from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
Fuck off.
no.
Is that a JoJo reference?
Motherfucking.
I thought it was. I thought it was
No,
the
I
mask.
will-
applaud the
I will
JoJo
say this, I will
reference,
say
though.
this,
Well
I will say
played.
this, guys. If there's any sort of JoJo reference, it is pure coincidence, because I have only seen 2 episodes of JoJo.
I haven't watched any of
I
it.
need to for the mask.
Harold,
What?
I've seen like 8.
Anyway,
seen
let's.
all of it so far.
Can we move on?
Yeah.
Well, before we go, as Avitus speaks up, at the very least, I see that your new companions are now tied up in this as well. And he pulls out more of the amulets, similar to the ones that you, Rorik, and Cadenza hold, that show the star of the Inquisition, and hands each one to War, Kihime, and Korn.
It's like
That's
I'm-
the nifty
I'm
little
just gonna
trinket.
lean
What does it
towards
do?
them and say, whatever you guys do, don't sell it.
feel like
Yep.
How did you know?
I don't think I'm gonna need to sell it. I'm nobility here. This little trinket probably wouldn't cost that much.
You might be surprised. There are several people in all different nations who care not for different royalties.
What if it's plated in gold? Is it plated in gold?
I'm sorry, what?
Is it plated in gold?
Nope, it's actually in bronze.
Yeah.
You know, usually from my experience, like organizations like an Inquisition, they like to be fancy and shiny. This is interesting.
And sometimes organizations want to be quiet and not seen.
I mean, if you want to be quiet and not seen, maybe a bird mask isn't the best idea. Pretty
Hey.
conspicuous, if
Hey.
you ask me.
Hey, being quiet and unseen is kind of my thing. I think I would know.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Cadenza looks at Rorik and tries really, really hard to stifle laughter from that comment.
As you
I'm just
all,
gonna glance at Cadenza and be like, "What are you laughing at?"
You.
After he hands each of you the amulets, Avitus and a few of the Inquisition members actually move up to where to the altar and begin inspecting that, as well as the winged statue that is now covered in this rot and fungus. Just seem to almost give off a sense of decay on the statue, as well as taking a look at the altar, the now ruined altar itself.
Can I make a nature check on the rot?
Yep, you can go ahead and do that. What are you looking for
Alright.
exactly?
Wanting to see like if it box or if it has any adverse effects on what's going on in the area, or if it's just natural rot or something like along those lines, basically.
Yeah, I'll let
Okay,
you do it.
go
I
ahead
don't
and
fucking know.
go ahead and make a nature check.
All right, nature check. That is +1.
Well,
I would think. you would
I
have
got
more, but-
10.
Okay, so from what, at the very least, from what you can tell, it's very similar to the rot that you saw in the forest.
Harold,
Yes.
now that
but-
we kind of know what it is, would I be able to clean it off with prestidigitation?
Well, this is only what Rourke knows.
Okay, yeah. I'll check it too, I guess, to see if I do.
What are you
I'm
going to look
gonna-
for exactly?
Well, to see what it is, what we know of it.
And I'm gonna turn around to the rest of the group and to the Inquisitors and say what I figured from what I had seen,
Okay.
saying that this looks like something we've ran into before.
Yeah,
Possibly.
I got a similar
Back in-
check on that.
Okay.
Back in the forest, we ran
so
into
so
a
if you
bunch
came in
of
with
fungus.
that roll, you'll definitely know for a fact that it is extremely that it's very similar to what you had seen in the forest. So with that roll, you are able to confirm that it is similar.
Yeah, okay.
But
Yep.
but then as you say this, the Inquisitor, the pair of Inquisitors that are with you, look at each other. Their eyebrows furrow. You're saying it's similar to what you've seen in Athenia?
Yes, I can
Yes.
confirm that.
That's not.
This is the stuff that we saw back when Sid passed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
It seems you may have an invasive species here.
And hearing this, the other Inquisitor, mutters, "Wonder if it's happening there. What does this mean for Fenia?"
I don't know what's going on.
Wait a second. What's War's intelligence score again? Out of character?
14.
Oh.
But
Oh,
he has
wow.
literally no idea what's going on.
He is
He
already
has no idea.
Well,
he
he
has
is
no idea what's
new.
going on.
going on.
He is
I
new.
just met y'all.
Yeah, he just met you all.
He
He has
doesn't
no
know.
idea what's going on.
Okay.
He has
So-
jack
Because
Yeah, all he knows is that some freaky
Yeah.
robed guy appeared, and then
You're
from,
fucking
and this is from
weirdo.
word of mouth.
Because if it was Neo, I probably would have said something like, "Of course you have no idea what's going on."
Yeah, not
Goodness.
stupid anymore.
No.
The relapse.
he's Actually
Anyways.
smart.
Anyways, and hearing this, after muttering, turns to look at you, Cadenza, and says, "By any chance, have you run into Inquisitor Puver yet?"
Who does he look like?
He was the yellow tiefling. Hey,
We spoke to him, right?
you haven't seen him since you first left Delarim.
Yeah.
Okay.
He went to you know that he just to help jog your memory.
Thank you.
He had gone off to Ruvan, and Father Avitus had initially said, "Hey, if you plan to go up there, and join Paver, I'm sure he could help you out, that kind of thing." So
Cadenza shakes her head. No, not really.
well, Father Avitus is starting to worry about him, and I think this is giving him more reason to be concerned.
Cadenza leans into the other Inquisitor. How much does Father Avitus know about the Guardian of the Forest?
They pause for a moment, but then they speak up once more. "We know of it, but because of the agreements that were established during the creation of the Empire, we are not allowed to. It's out of our jurisdiction."
But we have information about it that might help because it might be related.
I'm gonna cut it and say, "Oh, so you don't know that we solved the issue there?"
What
Right.
issue?
The guardian of the forest was dying, and a new one was installed.
Thing is, though, the old one got turned into a zombie.
By the way, you're able to hear all this, War.
And we
Sora
had
is
to
now getting background story.
and we had to defeat the old guardian of the forest in order
To release his powers.
and instate the new guardian.
Cadenza looks at Rourke, who also still wants to bang you, by the way.
Rourke's just gonna blush and turn away.
Aw, how cute.
Hearing all this news, the Inquisitor pause.
Why is...
Have you all? You said you figured out the issue there. What was the cause of it? What caused the shepherd to get sick?
All 3 guardians that worked for the shepherd were all attacked. They were targeted. And the guardian could no longer protect them, and therefore the shepherd could them. Also, why is Ward shuffling a deck of purple cards?
I'm bored.
And then,
Yeah.
So you're not even listening to this.
Bored.
also,
But who would attack?
we went down into a cave and there was a cult of witches. And they
It
were
was-
preparing poisons.
It was a coven of hags.
a coven of hags, and they were preparing poisons in order to, and they were making the forest and the guardian of the forest sick.
They were also targeting the drow and making the drow do...
Y'all been to some fun places.
So even the drow are getting caught up in this.
Yes. I've spoken to a couple of them.
Vampires.
Have any idea what might be happening now?
If all is gone
Even
well,
though we destroyed the hag, the necromancer might have been working from them, and they might have moved in headquarters.
or
Werewolves.
the hags were under the control of the necromancer.
That could be a possibility.
That's a possibility.
Who knows? The only way would have been probably to follow it.
Except it kind of
What?
teleported its way out.
Yeah, you guys keep talking about a necromancer. What necromancer?
You mentioned a werewolf a moment ago. What was this? Werewolf.
Yeah, what was that about, War?
No, that was the disembodied voice of Neo.
Oh, I thought
Oh.
I thought it was. I actually thought it was. My bad.
That was out of character.
Oh,
Okay.
That was
Right.
out of character,
I was
Neo.
waiting for you jackasses to remember.
Oh, I knew. I was waiting for somebody
I
else to
remember
say it.
too. I was waiting for somebody else to talk about it.
Everybody was, I
Okay,
guess.
so we'll just retcon and say no. We'll just say Rourke muttered it and the Inquisitor heard it.
Okay.
Yeah.
War's gonna kick his glaive out from under him, put the cards away, and the glaive disappears, and he's gonna shuffle up this way. Also, I can move War.
Oh, here, I'll fix that. Here you,
Let me,
here you
let
go.
me move my blue boy.
Yeah.
All right, here you go.
That is
You
an
just had to make
token.
another fucking teeth.
Okay.
Don't assume that token looks anything like him. It's just a placeholder.
Yeah, it's literally just a placeholder. I just had to find
Sure.
something.
I'm gonna shuffle up this way. I'm gonna kneel down up here near the altar. Make sure none of these idiots can see me. I'm gonna pull up my bandages and have a look around with my left eye.
All right, so you're just looking in the general vicinity of here, or
I'm gonna look over the altar and see if anything's fucky.
okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Oh, what's my modification for that?
It's
Not
a plus
great.
2.
It's not great. Hey, it's alright.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so what you've noticed is that this altar was. It seems to have a multiple purpose. Is that while it did serve as an altar, you could tell that it was also almost like one of those boxed shaped coffins.
Mm-hmm.
And you do see what appear to be some writing of what appears to be a name in common, but you only get part of it because of it being damaged. And outside of that, you notice that there's more of the fungal-like growth that's actually around it at the base.
Hey, Harold, was it partially damaged? Was it damaged in this little scuffle, or was it damaged before?
It was damaged during the you would have seen this, Kihime, but it was when that skeletal figure emerged.
Okay. Can I find the rubble of it?
Are you looking for anything particular with the rubble, or just looking at it itself?
Like, could I find all the pieces of the rubble, basically?
Oh,
just-
because you can mend it.
Yeah, I was thinking about mending it and then using prestidigitation to clean it off to see if I could read the rest of it.
Yeah, I would say you'd be able to see it.
Okay.
Can I assist him with it? Can I assist him with trying to
Bake.
find all the pieces?
Well,
Oh, boy.
yeah, you could do that. So feel free. And
What-
I'm
What
trying
do
to
I
remember
roll
who
for
else was doing something. Okay, so there was war, and so you guys are repairing the altar. I'll just assume that.
I was gonna ask Crowboy a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, Crowboy,
Avitus turns and looks at you.
who's buried here?
One of the saints of Vifenia, Saint Vanez, and that is spelled V-A-N-E-Z.
Too easy.
So, is there anything I need to do to finish repairing this thing, or nah?
No, I would say you're able to slowly repair it, and
Okay.
this is happening during the conversation you're having with Laura's having the conversation with Father Avitus.
And I'm sure this is the saint you were talking about being gone, yeah?
Precisely. The fact that someone would dare even to defile this place.
I mean, newsflash, necromancers don't give a shit about sanctity.
Well, it's considering the fact this is the very saint that actually fought against the necromancers of the past.
We painted the target on his back, didn't he?
Which is why the Inquisition was always stationed here.
You might think that might be why this place was targeted in particular.
I would actually say, Cadenzas, you have the book. You've read the Book of the Undead Wars, yes?
Mm-hmm.
You would know that it actually mentioned the war of a great hero who fought against the names that were mentioned in the book, and you would recall that armor and all that resembles very much the description of the one who defeated the liches in the Undead Wars.
So what would be why this place was targeted in particular?
Could be.
Hey, Harold, can I investigate the skeleton to see if I can identify who this might be?
The skeleton is gone.
Yeah, there is a
Skeleton's gone.
skeleton.
Okay.
Yeah, it disappeared with with that robed figure.
With
Yep.
the necromancer.
From the dead.
I mean, if you want my honest, random, pulled out guess, that body with that skeleton was probably a saint.
Yo.
Which means we should probably check the other graves to see if there's any missing.
I get the feeling he came here for one.
Father Avitus, are there any other saints buried around here?
None that had the same recognition as Saint Vanez in this province. However, there's each of the provinces have a saint that is seen as sort of their patron for each province.
And who's
Then
the
we're gonna
saint?
need to check each one.
Who's the saint your buddy was talking to you about?
This one.
Yes. This was the one. Which means
so we're
that...
dealing with a thief?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I can't hear.
So we're dealing with a thief. That's what Nether said.
Essentially.
We're dealing with grave robbers.
I mean, all
For what reason?
One way or another.
Well, Father, this might be your lucky day.
I don't know where he's going with this.
Neither do I.
Neither do I.
He's a thief.
I'm a thief. I
Oh,
have connections. Can help. This is
Well.
why we keep a thief around, right?
these guilds usually have connections with necromancers.
And I'm just gonna turn to Nether and wave my gloved hand.
Hey, I have
I have-
plenty of connections. I
The
know.
most
What is-
lawful thieves ever created, guys.
Turn themselves in. The best thing that you can do as a thief,
During-
turn yourself
During
in.
this conversation, the Inquisitor that you had spoken to about the forest approaches and says, if that is the case of what you mentioned about this, about what happened in Athenia, does this mean that it could happen also where in the other provinces like Ruvan, and because it seems to me Ruvan or or Everon may be the next ones.
I'm gonna turn to look at Cadenza real quick, because Rorik was with her during the battle at.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's
Huh?
I'm saying it's Relberg or Ruvan. Just need to
Okay.
correct myself.
But so I'm turning to Cadenza because I was with Cadenza during the battle at the Guardian of the Forest when the Spaghetti the Undying showed up, and I'm gonna ask, hey, wasn't Spaghetti the Undying? Didn't he have necromancer powers?
Cadenza nods. Yep, he totally did. And then he came back as the undead too. Remember, he
We-
attacked us.
Which means that any necromancer can bring this anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So,
that's what
if this is the-
necromancy
and since this is the fungus that we've seen over back in Athenia, then that means that this is probably most likely the same necromancer.
Which means it's more than just the hags.
Definitely.
Well, at the very least, I think it's time that you all get some rest. Me and the others here will go ahead and continue with the investigation, and I will provide for you any updates.
Okay.
So are we taking a long rest but not actually waiting?
Well, you guys can. Well, it's up to you. You guys can leave and do whatever you like, or you can take a long rest.
Do you want to sleep in a church with a bunch of dead bodies? I don't want to sleep
No,
in a
good
church with a
point.
bunch of dead bodies.
Yeah, I don't think I would want to
Dead
either.
bodies.
I've
I'm gonna
slept
go
in worse
find-
places.
I'm gonna go find a tavern.
Yeah, let's
Alright.
go to
Shopping.
tavern. And yeah, I kind of want to go
Tavern
see
sounds about
things.
Oh yeah, when are we getting paid for this? I thought we were getting paid. Someone said something about getting paid.
Oh yeah. And as you say that, one of the inquisitors points to your towards your amulet now, War, and says, that is part of your initial payment, that first payment. For it, let's just say, gives you special benefits that normally only the Inquisition would receive.
You
Another
hear
Such
that?
such as free
special
rooming.
benefit.
I'm gonna turn to War and go. You hear that? Now you have friends with benefits in the Inquisition.
I've got friends with benefits everywhere.
Get free
So,
booze
I'm
and
gonna,
nicer rooms.
I'm gonna
Booze and
pull my.
boots.
I'm gonna pull my
Hey guys,
amulet
can we
out.
go to that same tavern that we went to the first time? I wanna
Wait,
see if
wait,
that
just
water
wait.
Are you gonna
is-
try to sleep with that chick again?
No,
yeah,
she's gonna try. No, Nether's gonna try and
Hey.
sleep with the bartender this time. No, but what I'm
the
gonna
Earth
do is I'm
Genasi,
gonna,
the cucumber.
yes,
Yes.
but I'm gonna pull my amulet out and say, and what about us, the ones who have been working for you?
With the update, there will be a portion of the payment.
You get double benefits, and War's gonna leave the church.
I'm not getting second amulets.
Cadenza looks at Father Abatis. I want spells.
That is not how magic works.
That's not how magic works.
Give
That's
me
not
your
Roll a
magic.
persuasion check at disadvantage.
Put
Cadenza.
your magic in my hands. Give.
Give me your magic tomes.
Give it here. I wish for your magic.
Oh, that's not gonna happen.
She hasn't even rolled the disadvantage yet.
It doesn't matter. She rolled a 2. She's like,
I rolled a 9 and then I rolled an 18.
yeah.
Give me spell.
Maybe maybe if the results of this situation change, I'll consider it.
Cadenza
So in other words, he's giving you a polite no.
And I'm gonna step forward and say, how many more of those do you have? And I'm gonna point at the mysterious weapon that he has at his hip.
Oh boy.
Well, depends. Do you plan to become a member of the Inquisition?
I'm gonna shake my head. No, but I
Then you know
feel
your
the-
answer.
But wait, just let me finish. No.
No, you know your
But
answer
wait.
now.
But if we're to work for the Inquisition, shouldn't we be well equipped enough to fight the Inquisition's enemies?
Are you saying that we're not well equipped?
I'm not.
I'm definitely
Pull
not.
out foldable swords. Are you saying we're not well equipped?
I'm gonna
I-
stick my head back in the door and just call out, I'm gonna start drinking without you.
I still need.
I'm just gonna turn to Nether
Nether's
and
just
say,
gonna run out the door.
no, wait. I'm just gonna turn to Nether and say, Nether, we've seen you naked. We know you're not well equipped.
Fuck you. And he's gonna run.
Anyway, I gotta go shopping.
Same.
Alright. So you all are leaving.
Yep.
So it seems to take Korn a little bit longer.
I'm
For
still
some
standing
reason.
there. I'm still standing there waiting to negotiate the payment.
You're not gonna
Well-
get a goddamn gun.
While you guys were talking, I was going around collecting all my arrows.
I didn't use any arrows this fight. I'm proud of myself.
But as you all are leaving, the you take a note of the sunset, and
Pretty.
and and when you leave the general proximity, you notice that the streets seem to be calm, and as if nothing really happened. Seems to be no sign of people worrying or panicking about what just transpired.
Can I make a perception check to see if I can see any of my hooded buddies?
Any of your what?
My hooded buddies from on the rooftops.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Make a perception check.
He goes on his own again, gets himself teleported to some other random area.
Yeah, right?
I got
Sleep
an
off
18.
Somehow Rorik gets teleported into like Makone's bedroom.
Why?
Because it'd be funny.
No, I get teleported back to the
Okay,
bell
go ahead and roll.
I rolled 18.
Okay. So from what you've seen, no one that you really... There's not really anyone that's... Yeah, any of your quote-unquote buddies from the day you all first met. You do notice, however, that while you're walking by, and you've been living in Delaram for quite some time, you notice at least one of the cloaked figures seems to be wearing a mask. One of which seems to be rather plain.
Would I know what this mask is supposed to signify, or no?
I would say go ahead and make a history check.
Huh. Fantastic. Another one of my low rolls.
Should I
Okay.
get them to do it?
1. Let me roll the 1.
You rolled a natural one.
Oh, no, I haven't rolled a natural 1. I'm putting my modifier in. I got a 9.
9. Okay, so from what well, I will say that you've seen the figures with these masks before, but they haven't really done any harm to you or anyone that you have noticed.
Oh, they haven't done harm to me. Bullshit, they zapped me.
You don't know if they are the ones. But you have seen them around before. But you definitely know they're different from the cloaked figures that you had met or had witnessed on the day of the games.
Okay. Let me think. I want to see if I can stealth to try and sneak up on this person.
All right, go ahead and make a stealth check.
All right. That will be a +9. Now let me take that. I got a 12.
12. Okay. From what you can, you try to follow this person, thinking you're being stealthily as much as possible, and the figure seems to be walking down the street, but then, out of nowhere, you notice a flick of this figure's wrist before the whole body seems to change, almost like an illusion had been cast over this figure, and takes on the appearance of a normal person, such as someone who's just coming back from working at from a market stall, and blends in with the crowd.
Can I make a perception check to see if I can keep my eyes on this individual?
I would say yes, but with disadvantage.
Okay.
Rip.
So that
because they are trying to blend in with the crowd.
Okay. 22.
And
that one.
24.
Oh wow, very good.
Mazel
Okay.
tov.
So you keep an eye on this figure, but it seems to be blending into the crowds, and within a moment it turns its head and almost seems out of peripheral vision, seems to be looking right at you.
How close am I to them?
I would say you're about 30 feet away.
I'm going.
And taking note that you were there. Figure calmly turns its head and just continues walking.
Okay.
Almost
So-
as if you're not of importance to it.
I'm gonna squint at the individual as it starts walking away, and I'm gonna think about it for a moment and realize this person is obviously trying to lead me into a trap. Though, they are also somebody who Father Abatus probably should know about as well. So I'm gonna double back and head back to the church.
Okay, so as you try to head back to the church, you find that the doors are completely locked and sealed, and there's now two soldiers standing guard.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't seem to be budging when you approach.
Access denied.
Yep.
Rourke?
And as you stand there for a moment, the guard says, "I'm sorry, Father Avitus is not available at this time."
My app crashed.
Oh,
So
Oh.
what I was gonna say was I was gonna hold up my amulet and say, "Where's Father Abitus? I have important business with the Inquisition."
Father Avitus said he's not going to take anyone else for tonight. And only official inquisitors are allowed to see him as of this time.
And what if I were to say that I have important information that has to deal with certain events
What kind of
that are
certain
of
events?
they are of the utmost importance of for the Inquisition, and only for the Inquisition's ears.
Make a persuasion check.
All right. So persuasion is a +7, so I got a 9.
He says, "I'm sorry. As much as I would like to give you access, I can't. Even though you are working with them, I can't disobey an inquisitor's orders."
I'm gonna cross my arms and say, "How about one of you go up there and talk to him, and ask him?"
Why don't you tell us what it is exactly that you want to speak to him about?
If the Inquisitor would allow me to, then I would. Or if Father Abitus would allow me to, then I would tell you. But as of right now, it is information that is too sensitive for the public, even for the guards.
Then I can't help you there. I'm sorry.
And I'm gonna cross my arms again and say, "Is there anything that could change your mind?"
Try bribing him.
That's what I'm doing.
Unfortunately not. If I disobey an inquisitor's orders, that means my death.
I'm telling you it's a dead end and stop trying.
come back later. That's what it is.
That's
Alright.
what he's saying.
I'm gonna just tap my foot and look up into this guard's eyes and say, "All right, fine. But make sure that he knows that I have information to tell."
That sounds like a hissy fit.
I'll be sure to tell him once I see him.
Oh boy.
All right, and then now I'm just gonna walk off, and I'm gonna head over to a apothecary.
Okay, so
You mean my apothecary?
No,
that's
that's
Nathania.
yeah, that's
All
far
right.
away.
Yeah, if I were to head there, I would forfeit my long rest and then some.
Okay, so now that's done.
Making
Who was doing what?
I was wanting to go to to a blacksmith.
Cadenza
Okay.
wants to go to an armory.
Okay, so Kihime and Cadenza are going to the armory. What about War? Just getting booze?
Go in the tavern.
Okay, getting the booze. Who else are we missing? Corn. What are you doing?
I want to see about getting my bow enchanted. Because why not?
Okay, so you all are going. So you're all making your way towards the armory. Yeah, except for War, going to the armory. So War, Rorik, I'm putting a note that you're in the tavern, and the rest of you are going to the armory. So let me pull this up.
You guys are gonna see my friends.
Okay.
Oh shoot, I need to go to the blacksmith.
Yeah, you need to go back to him.
Tavern.
Yeah. Okay. So you all make your way to the blacksmith, but you notice that the shop seems to be closed up already
Ah,
for the day.
No, my son.
got here too late then. I guess we'll have to come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
You sure you don't want to try and charisma your way in?
How? To the building? The building's just gonna listen?
Charisma the building. Talk to the door.
Yeah, I don't.
I
wanna talk to
seduced
this
the lock.
door.
I mean, like,
Hey, Harold, I seduced the lock. It'll work well.
yeah,
good
bars,
God.
bars are notorious for seducing things.
Okay.
For people, not things.
No,
Well, the
there's
doors you
there's
have
comic
important
there's
information.
comics about bards mating with rods.
Yeah, there is. Okay.
Oh, God. All right. So you're all making your way to the Tipsy Giant.
Yeah, I'll follow
Yay.
people who know where that is, because I'm not
Is
sure if
it-
my character knows.
Wait, is the apothecary closed right now too?
Yes.
Okay.
we
yeah,
all
I'm
got
gonna
here
head
too
over.
late.
It's pretty much sundown, so
On the
so
way
things are closing up.
on the way
It is
over
nighttime.
on the
Oh.
way over to the Tipsy Giant. I want to meet up with Nether, and I'm gonna say, hey, I'll give you 3 gold if you try and seduce the bartender.
Which one? Wait. Wait, are you talking about him?
I'll be
Mr.
right back.
Cucumber, yes.
You just like another just instantly like
Hey, Harold.
kind of his crotch of his like, oh god. I so hope he's not working right now.
Hey,
Well-
Harold.
Yes.
3 gold if you try and seduce him.
To make sure, I am going to use prestidigitation on myself to clean myself before I go to the tavern.
Okay.
You gotta make sure
Yeah, I'll clean that.
you're your best.
All right.
I'm just gonna give myself a pat down.
minus the blood stains.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways,
Prestidigitation would clean that too.
War left long before you guys, so he's already mid-drink.
yeah. So as you all enter the Tipsy Tavern,
And put it back in there.
you all see War off in a corner, and it seems like a few. Well, it's a good chunk of patrons in there. They all seem to be staying like at least 2 tables away from War, because of his sort of, partly because of his edgy appearance with all the blood and gore stains on his clothing and armor.
Sorry,
And you
what did
also-
I miss? I had to go AFK first.
War can fill you in, but as you all enter, you see a certain Earth Ganazi tending to the bar, and he turns. And looks at those who have entered. His eyes narrow directly on Nether. You!
Nether immediately is like, whoa, okay, hold up.
I'm just gonna
Pass is
lean
pass.
into Nether and whisper 3 gold.
Past is the past?
You! He's pissed. For some reason or another.
You got his daughter knocked up, didn't you? Hello?
Oh,
Okay, I thought.
Wow.
No, they're just gonna like kind of hide a bit. Yeah.
Are you actually trying to hide from him?
I'm just gonna like kind of obscure my face and hope that's kind of enough to not be as noticeable.
He's already seen you.
Yeah,
and he
he's-
already recognizes you.
Yeah.
It's too late for that. You've got to run.
If I
Nether
can't
is
see him, he
terrified.
can see me.
Wait. Okay, I'm just gonna go right to the bar. Like, sit
Oh
down.
god.
Alright.
Please
Hi.
let Nether have a kid now.
Oh God.
It wouldn't have been out by now, but we
Jesus,
maybe
yeah, I was about
notice
to
it.
say, you all have only been gone for like a week and a half.
I don't think Ganassi breed that fast.
I don't know the breeding times of Genasi.
I think it's about the same as humans here.
I'm pretty sure it's the same as humans because Ganazis are technically human, but
We're not talking
They're
about
on
Dragonborn.
fire.
You
here.
actually haven't been. Just to clarify, you've been gone for actually a few weeks.
Okay, we've been
yeah,
gone for a few.
Ganazis
It
are-
would be noticeable, but I don't think it would be out by now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk up to the bar, sit down.
You know, walk up to the guy who's yelling at you.
Yeah, this is smart.
Grabs you
yeah.
by the neck, pulls you forward with the strength of a bear.
I'm just gonna start cackling.
I'm gonna be like, Nether, what did you do to anger this one?
It's a long story.
I'll tell you what he did.
Oh no.
Oh no, what did I? Listen, man, if you're upset about seeing me nude, I didn't expect you were down here.
It is his shop.
His grip squeezes ever more slightly on your neck.
Okay. Listen, we can talk about this. We can, man to man, we can talk about this. Please let me down.
Doesn't seem to
I'm
be
gonna-
listening to your words.
I'm gonna call out to another. Careful, it looks like he's a choker.
Guys, please. I'm just gonna like glare back and go like, help, please.
I think we need to know what's happening first.
I'm just gonna stroll up to the bar and say, so, what's the story here?
Should I be
You
scared?
made love to my sister.
Hey, man, listen.
And he squeezes even more as you talk, telling you, giving you as a hint to shut up.
I'm just gonna look over at him and say, hey, listen. I know he did that, and I know he's done that with plenty of other sisters.
You're
But
not making this better.
that's the point.
Fuck you.
Then you should have stopped him.
Yeah, you should've
You
stopped.
see, that's the thing. He doesn't really listen to me. He only listens to pretty ladies. So if you want him to stop, you might want to get your sister to tell him to stop.
God, I'm pretty sure he's now mad at you at this point.
Your words aren't getting through to him, Rorik.
I'm surprised he's not
Not
choking
even
you at this
not
moment.
even a persuasion check for that.
Nope, not even persuasion.
Damn
He's
it.
pissed. He is a barbarian in full rage right now.
He's a-
I was gonna like
Did-
try and like hit his arm.
Seduced her
Like,
when she was already engaged.
Oh!
That's on her.
yeah, that is
that is kind of on her.
that is on her.
that is on her.
Like, trust me,
She
this
was
guy, even
engaged?
though
Yeah, no, like
he's-
hearing that, his eyes go wide. Like this is completely new information.
I'm gonna be like, yeah. First off, she never told him that. Second off, he's not too good at the whole seducing thing. So, yeah.
Oh,
He's
Rorik, I'll give you a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Okay.
Oh, no.
This is not too good for you, Nether, because I am actually shit at persuasion. Or actually, wait a second, persuasion?
at disadvantage.
That doesn't
Oh,
matter.
actually, I'm not as bad as I thought.
You rolled twice. I
7.
swear, if you get a nat 1, I'm gonna kill
I
you.
got a 16 and a 15.
Okay. Turns and looks at Nether. Eyes narrowed. Let's go.
Oh, shit.
Be thankful that you are wearing that, and just jams a finger into your chest, pressing against the amulet of the Inquisition.
Oh. Seriously, man. How much do you lift? Holy fuck. Oh.
I'm just
Your
gonna
only
put
day
it-
in a room. Nothing else.
I'm gonna put down a gold on the bar. I'm gonna put down a gold coin and say, "Here's for your trouble." Then a coin. And here's for your trouble with Nether.
He pauses. He doesn't even seem to pick it up, but he turns to look to you all. Except Nether. And says, again, if it wasn't for the fact that you're all members, or at least friends of them, at the very least, you he points again to the group, except for you, Nether, you all still get full service. But if I see him near her again, his third leg's the only thing he's going to have left.
I'll be like,
That was both a compliment and a threat.
God damn.
sh-
I'm just gonna look at Nether and say, "Man, you sure know how to piss him off."
I didn't. How was I supposed to know?
You know,
Okay.
something tells me he'd have been pissed off even if she wasn't engaged.
Probably.
maybe, but probably not that pissed off, but hey, whatever.
Out of character, I'm just imagining his rage is like Ross from Friends.
Yes.
I'm gonna.
Okay. So, War, you're seeing all this unfold.
Mm-hmm. Seriously questioning my choice of going with these people.
You and me both.
I'm just gonna look.
I
at
didn't
Warren
know I
and
was
go,
gonna be
"Hey,
hated
hey,
before I got here.
I'm on the other side of the room. You aren't saying anything to me.
No,
okay,
I'm there.
okay."
Oh well, I mean, I could be around you.
Kihime actually joined. I think it was Kihime who actually joined War and going to the tavern.
No, I was.
I thought it was. I thought
No,
I was with the-
May and Cadenza had gone.
Yeah, we
Oh,
went
okay.
to the army
The
first.
armory
I didn't
was
know.
closed, and then went to the tavern.
Okay, gotcha.
And
So-
Cadenza kind of slunk back into her own.
Okay,
little
I guess I'm
area
not saying
and
anything then.
So
watching shit unfold.
I'm gonna cross my
You
arms
guys will
behind my
break
head,
them.
and I'm gonna look at the bartender and say, "So, not to be too pushy or anything about any information, but how exactly did her fiance and you find out about Nether?"
Probably not the best question
I'm
here.
just gonna glare at him and be like, dude, not the fucking time.
There's such bad timing.
Clearly pissed. Already.
He's just staying silent. He's not saying a word. And you could tell Rorik that he is just holding it in from going into a barbarian rage against Nether.
Sad part is, I really need a drink, but now I'm too afraid to ask for one.
I'm not afraid. He's just too preoccupied to actually.
I think we all need a drink. I'm just gonna pull out my coin pouch and put it on the bar.
He ignores your coin He ignores your coin, Nether. He goes and serves everyone else, but except you.
Oh! Not gonna allow it.
Come on, man. I'm willing to pay triple, please.
I'm gonna ask for mine in a
If
flask.
you are willing to pay for trouble.
Hey, Harold, am I allowed to ask for mine in a flask?
Yeah, you can. I'd
All right,
say
I'm
it's
gonna-
allowed.
Alright, I'm gonna get
Just-
mine in a flask.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
look over to Rorik. Be like, dude, can you get me a beer, please?
Huh?
Can you get me a beer, please?
I'm sorry. He's pissed off at you, not me. I feel like if I were to buy a beer for you, he'd probably smash it over my head and then yours. I'm not taking that chance.
At this point, War's gonna walk up to the bar and ask for, I don't know, give me a meat.
Nether, I would like you to make a perception check.
Oh.
Perception check?
Yes.
What was that poor whistling?
Yeah.
Something
It was
dying.
purposefully poor. Have you never seen?
Have I never seen what?
I never heard you actually whistle,
yeah.
so.
I'm amazing at perception, guys.
What did she get? Or what did Nether get?
9.
And
Fine.
A
I
9.
got a 9.
obviously, you were so preoccupied, you didn't notice anything. But suddenly, you feel something hit the back of your head,
Oh.
and it's a little bit on the heavy side. But then you hear something hit the ground, and you look and you see it's a wooden spoon.
What? Ow.
Please let it be Nana. Please let it be Nana.
Oh, I
I'm gonna look-
fucking
I'm gonna
wish,
look
man.
around.
Yeah,
And Nana just shows up and
So
throws
Nether.
a spoon.
Yeah.
So you went. So I'm assuming you're trying to look for the source.
Yes.
You turn around, and among the crowd, you seem to be keeping eye contact away from you, or from this group in general. There's one who sticks out to you in the side next to a window.
Oh
Who's sitting?
no.
This figure appears to be a black dragonborn.
Huh?
The scar that goes down his eye, and
It's
it's
the
and a
fiancé.
pearl glassy, and seems to be keeping himself concealed. You recognize this one?
Oh.
It's Thawne.
No way. Like, really pissed. And like, once he sees them, just like, alright, screw you guys. I'm going over here.
Is the bartender's sister there anywhere?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
Oh my
That's
God.
that's good. That's good. Alright. Perception is +8, so I got a 12.
You don't see her at all.
Damn it.
Okay.
Well.
Alright, walking up to Thawne, just be like,
All right. I'll wait for you on that one, Nether. Want to see what the rest of the others are doing.
Well, I guess I'll get myself a drink. I'll be like, your best drink, if you please.
All right.
I've been needing one after this whole adventure.
Careful there. I think he might overcharge you on that, given the fact that we share company with, you know who.
Good sir, I'm nobility. I don't have to worry.
Yes, but you're a nobility who shares company with him.
I got plenty of money.
Seeing that this place is an establishment meant for the upper class, he pulls out what appears to be a bottle of the strongest alcohol, which you would recognize that from your time in Haktesh because of the trade that happened between Dratonia and your particular home. That this is absinthe.
Ooh, absinthe. Haven't had that in a while.
Are we talking American absinthe or actual?
actual absinthe.
And I'm gonna cross my arms and look over at them and say, "Yeah, just because you're royalty doesn't mean they're not gonna overcharge. In fact,
I'm not saying they won't.
royalty, since you're royalty, they know you have money, and because they know you have money, they will overcharge."
You know I'm
not-
right here.
Do you know that I'm not? I know these things already. It's like I don't have
You know I'm
worries
right
of
here,
money.
and she is wearing the same amulet as you.
Oh boy. It's like
Even if I wanted to overcharge, I would have to deal with your friends.
oh boy.
I'm not willing to risk that.
It's okay, Guitar. He didn't. He's just being a jerk.
Alright. So what are you doing, War?
And wait, I wasn't
And
done.
Corn?
I'm actually gonna go over with Nether and see what the Black Dragonborn's all about.
Okay.
Yes, my main character trait, jerk.
Yes.
Alright, so War and Corn, what are you guys doing? Just chilling out or watching or
I'm watching, but like anyone in the tavern other than those guys who looks at me, I'm going to shoot the meanest death stare at. The meanest one-eyed death stare.
are you shooting it at someone in particular?
Oh, anyone who looks at me.
I'm just gonna look over at War.
I did specify except for those.
Except for his current traveling companions.
Okay.
So, okay, I'll go ahead and Nether. So you approach an old friend or comrade, Thon. And as you approach, he says, "You sure have a way with them, as always."
What can I say? You know me. Always getting into trouble, even if I don't.
That's
mean
an understatement.
it.
He's saying this while smirking.
What are you doing here? Where are the rest of the guys?
Things have taken an interesting turn, to say the least.
Interesting turn.
Yes. But before we get started, what have you been up to? It's been almost 3 weeks since we've last seen you. Left without a word.
I wanted to say something. I just didn't know how to say.
Well, considering that you're, and as he taps with a claw-like finger against the amulet. Seeing you have friends in high places, I can understand why.
This is more recent. I originally left it trying to find my friends.
Well, I hate to say this, but I wish we met under better circumstances.
What do you mean? Is everything okay?
The Ebony Horns are in shambles.
Another just pauses. What do you mean?
The Silent had attacked.
Wait.
Yes, they broke the peace treaty.
How is everyone? Ed, Fefrate, Mangum.
Fefri is dead from the initial assault trying to protect Nangam and Edmund. But from what we know, Nangam and Edmund are missing.
missing?
Guessing the silent took. We're guessing the silent took them to their base of operations.
I don't understand. Why would they do this?
Seems they've been working ever since we made that made that peace agreement with them, and dividing up the city. They've taken that opportunity to try to, and it seems that they've been successful in more ways than one. The members are scattered. There's no clear sign of absolute organization as of yet. We're just trying to get ourselves back together.
He just like runs his hand through his hair, trying to stay calm. How? I just wish I was like.
Well, there's a way to redeem yourself.
Mia looks up at him. Time to go sleep, Dad.
I think you already know already.
Harold,
Yes.
you missed cadenza and corn.
Oh.
For like an hour.
What's going? I couldn't even. I'm sorry. I didn't. I thought I got the corn and cadenza, but I didn't.
No,
didn't
Cadenza's
think
been
so.
wanting a drink since she got to the fucking
No, I
tavern.
already. Oh, I thought I did. I'm sorry.
No.
I thought I said it. My bad. Okay, but yeah. So I'm assuming you're ordering the same thing as usual.
I want fucking absinthe, bitch.
Okay. Yep. So the same thing as usual. So you order some absinthe.
You just went really southern. What the fuck?
I don't
Hey.
know.
Hey Harold.
What?
So I'm actually curious about
Mhm.
something.
Yes.
Does two things? One is Leth still playing Kahime?
Yeah, I'm still
Yes.
playing Kahime.
Okay, good. And then the other thing is, does the bartender have any apples?
Yeah, you would see a bowl of fruit that contain a few apples. Yes.
All right, I want to buy one of those apples.
So you just easily take one because, as mentioned before, your amulet.
Okay, and then I'm gonna walk over to Kahime and hand it over, and explain to Kahime the meaning behind this gesture, referencing the first thing that Sid ever did to me. You know, in regards, throwing the apple at me.
Oh.
She's just gonna look at you like puzzlingly. She's just like, huh? Although for a second there, I thought you were gonna throw it at her. You just
Nah,
Like, this is payback for what your brother did to me.
nah. Sid and Rorik actually got
along pretty well.
kinda.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's because he was less like regal than his sister.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh boy. Anyway,
So as this conversation is going on, war.
you forgot Drew too. Again, corn. Corn
I
was-
didn't.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
here's why. I would like War to join me in the other chat.
Oh, okay.
Oh, damn it.
Well, if that's happening, I am taking.
Taking a break.
I have to pee.
So,
Go pee
you
then.
guys, how about that Mr. Cucumber though?
Mr. Q. This is hilarious. I bet that she is pregnant.
I
You can
want-
tell.
I'm pregnant so much.
She's definitely pregnant with Nether's kid.
I
That'd be
swear.
hysterical.
Oh my
I
God.
want that so much.
I know, you were like nudging and like, is she?
I was. You're not helping. I know.
I know. It's like, God fucking damn it. I
And the-
wanted to be peaceful.
In the end, I sort of did round it out and calm things down a
Yeah,
little.
yeah. If Rourke failed, I was just gonna cast suggestion and get him to calm down for at least 8 hours. And I would have told you to run.
Alcohol. I don't get my alcohol though.
There's other taverns. You'll just have to go to another one.
Just wait a second, Nether. I have a plan.
Hey, Nether, let me know how you enjoy those temporary tattoos around your neck.
You know, actually, it doesn't show anything because his skin is.
Wait a second. I'm confused now. Wait a second. How did he recognize Nether through the mask?
Well, I mean, it's a fire ganassi, maybe that, and if he spoke at
It's
all.
only a half mask. It only covers half of his face.
Oh, it's a
Okay.
half mask. Oh, that too, I guess.
And also his hair. His hair is pretty damn recognizable.
True.
Come on.
I would say
In
voice
Ganondorf.
and other stuff.
The shortest one ever. But
We gotta wait for Cadenza now.
why?
'Cause she freaking
Had to go.
walked away. She went AFK because she thought you were gonna be gone for longer.
But as this happens, it seems that the Dragonborn takes note and glances over at War,
War meets
almost
its
having a bit of a
plan.
wary look.
Making eye contact. Well,
Or
He's
one,
just glaring daggers.
one eye contact.
One eye.
Wait, are War and Thon having a stare off?
Yes.
Yes.
Thon glances back to you. Well, actually, keeps an eye contact with
Wait,
War and
Wait.
and whispers to Nether, "Is that a friend of yours?"
I want to make a bet with the bartender to see who's gonna look away first.
He seems to be focused on his work, just so he doesn't get any more pissed off with you all.
Yep. He Nether scratches the back of his neck. He's a new companion with us.
Well, seems he's been listening to our conversation for a bit.
That's alright. He's with me. He's with me.
Well, we did a bit of scouting, and we have a general idea of where their base is located. But as you know, we're not really in a position to deal with them. If you and your friends are willing to help us out here, then we can make some arrangement.
And now Nether has 2 side quests.
Come back.
Welcome back.
Welcome
Are
back.
they done yet?
Yes, they've
Well,
been done for
this
like
was more
5
of
minutes.
this is more of a general, like a side quest for all of you, basically.
Yeah, we're getting a side quest.
Oh, lovely.
We're getting Nether backstory.
Get another backstory and side quest.
Yay.
Okay.
So
Am I able to hear any of this?
I would assume with your passive perception, yes,
Okay.
it's high
Well,
enough.
the talk about that other group has caught my attention because it's making me think that possibly the group of cloaked figures might be them.
Nether looks around at all of his companions and looks back to Thon. Would it be okay if they get involved? Usually we just kinda stick to a small group. Us.
if you guys think you could do this as a small group, then be my guest. I just think that for the sake of our honor, we're gonna have to deal with them sooner or later.
I mean, if they have Ed and Yangam, I couldn't myself. I'm gonna look out to everyone else, like call out to them. Hey guys, come over here for a moment.
I'll go over there. I'll be the first one over there.
Cadenza picks up her absinthe and swankers over. What's up?
I'm gonna shuffle over and I'm gonna tuck the flask that I had purchased from the bartender into my cloak.
Why does Rorik need a flask?
I know, right?
My business is my own.
You get yourself hurt enough sober.
What?
Okay.
War's not moving.
I would be like, are you gonna finally introduce us to your cute friend over here?
I'm gonna look over at War and gesture for them to come over.
Puts his feet up on the table. He's not moving.
We'll tell him after.
I guess. Alright, guys. I'm gonna put a hand on Tom's shoulder.
I'm going to quickly get a drink from the bartender and head over in a flask.
Alright. Very well.
Guys.
You see? No, why does she have a flask now? Nobody talks about that.
That one's someone that doesn't need a flask.
I'm the one that needs a flask out of all of us. Come on.
Remember last time we got drunk?
Lost her fucking boyfriend because he disappeared on a cycle.
Yeah, that's true.
Stupid Discord, it just crashed again.
Not to mention, you probably got a water genasi who was engaged to someone pregnant.
Is she still engaged? That's the question.
You don't know.
Apparently.
I don't know.
Maybe.
You don't know.
Don't know. Maybe find out tomorrow. Who knows?
Oh jeez. If she doesn't sleep with you again first?
No.
I know you want to.
Alright. Back to roleplay.
Yeah.
This whole time, the Dragonborn's just watching. Yes, we already established that the Nether is a home wrecker. So, what? So, are you interested?
In what?
A little revenge.
In regards to...
I'll let our friend describe the situation.
Guys, this is Thon. Thon. These are the interesting people I've met. And we've gone through a lot so far.
I can tell as he glances over at the bartender.
Yeah.
I think this is the first. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
I forget how many of you I've told exactly what I've done before we all met. But it's, just long story short, I'm technically part of a bandit group called the Ebony Horns. And before we all met up, I left to try and find my parents because I was kind of raised the Horns. And it seems that while I've been gone with you guys, they were attacked. And you can tell that he's kind of he's trying really hard not to break down. got my bad guys. They have Mangum, and he's pretty much. I can't live knowing that he's possibly in danger. I can't live knowing that he might die because I do something. So
What's in it for us?
You know, it's really hard to tell if you're sincere without seeing your eyes, right?
If you want, you can make an insight check.
Yes.
No, that was sort of.
Okay, go ahead, Cadenza, make an insight check.
You can see his eyes, kind of.
Yeah, no.
Not particularly.
Oof.
Seems to be a very emotional story that you believe.
It's funny if you. Oh, I'm not even gonna say if he's telling the truth or not. But please, I'm begging you guys here. We've been through so much, and I don't trust anyone else to help me through this.
I'm gonna lean up against the post real quick and say, I don't doubt for a minute that you were part of a bandit group. You go on and on about being a thief all the time.
Yeah, you probably don't hide that very well.
It's sort of a tell.
I'm proud.
Anyway, you promised to help me, I'll help you.
You're egotistical.
Also, need I remind... Of course. And as compensation, not only will we provide assistance whenever you need it in this city, but, well, whatever is left over after you deal with them, we'll make sure that you get a strong percentage, say 80% of whatever's left over from the silent.
Sure, and
At this point, we'll get up and walk over. He's going to lean on the and he's going to lean on the table, and he says, "I want payment up front."
What are the
can't
silent?
get
What
payment up front.
You gotta get what's after. What's
I want-
left.
I want partial payment up front.
You don't get
Make a
any
persuasion
payment
check,
up
War.
front. It's all afterwards.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
How are they gonna pay you for something they don't have
With
yet?
advantage, by the way.
With advantage, 17.
17.
What the hell?
What are the silent?
Alright, first things
Yeah,
first.
that's what I was about to ask too.
The Dragonborn sign size. Well, don't blame you for being cautious. It will be done. And turns to look to you, the Cadenza, and says, "Silent are a rival. We've been in a bit of a conflict with them for a while.
What
We-
information do you have on them?
I'm sorry?
What information do you have on them?
We have the location, as well as the description of what they are, their behavior. Because we've dealt with them for many years, and it wasn't until this past year we actually brokered a bit of a peace treaty, which until recently they broke in a rather violent manner.
Where's this treaty?
Unfortunately, that's where our leader comes in.
Didn't you hear? They broke it violently.
Yes, I want to see the terms of the treaty before we just make a decision.
I was a witness over there.
The man's paying us. Why do we need to know the details?
Again, War. So that we don't fuck it up.
The peace
Do
treaty
we
was
tell-
to establish that we would not be at conflict with one another, and we would divide up the city equally in regards to influence. Because of our culture, for lack of better terms, agreements are made in the form of blood pacts.
AIDS.
Who has the blood pack?
It's on the leaders. Them kidnapping our leader, at the very least, shows that they had no intention keeping it.
Mokoni, pet that cat.
I picked her up. Shut up.
Do the silent wear masks?
That they do.
Huh. It
Fair.
seems that we have a common enemy.
Very well. So,
Common enemy.
in regards to payment, he pulls back his cloak and pulls out a pouch, and rummages around inside, looks at it, pulls out 3 gemstones of decent size, roughly around the size of, and one of which is a ruby, another a diamond, and the other a sapphire. It holds them out to you all. Of course, there'll be more, but
And how do we know where they're not glass?
he holds up the diamond, throws it down on the ground, doesn't shatter.
Out of context, anyone got a 10 loop?
A what?
Oh, what?
It's how you diamond shop and find all the insecurities in a diamond.
Oh.
I'm gonna.
It's a
pick up
type
the
of magnifying glass.
Can I do a insight check to see if he's lying about it, or if
Okay.
the diamond is enchanted with some sort of unbreaking spell on it, or
Go
something?
ahead and make an insight check.
Can I
Okay.
do an Arcana check to see if they're imbued with magic?
You may,
I'll,
as you hold it up.
They be bandits, but we aren't always liars.
I'll try it
Insight
too.
is +5, so
I would like to
20.
do an art. Well, I guess
I
I
got
don't.
a
I did
19.
an Arcana check.
Okay.
I got a 19 for insight.
All right. So, Rorik, from what you see, seems to be being truthful. And for you, Cadenza, no enchantments whatsoever.
How do we?
Gemstone.
Yeah, how do we divvy this up?
I'm going to take all 3 of the gemstones and put them in my pocket.
All right.
I'm
Well,
gonna slap his hand.
Well,
Oh,
You
no,
are
I'm sorry.
Cadenza,
I would say-
Snail
I would say-
you're not
Or-
going to slap
Alright.
shit.
Rorik, if you're going
Yes.
to try that, I would like you to do a dexterity check versus dexterity save
A dexterity check for what?
to see if you could slap him out of his hand. And war.
Okay, so it's
Dexterity
just a
save.
20. It's a 20 plus my
he's
save.
He's gonna win.
It's a 20 plus my save throw modifier, right?
no, it's just your check. It's your
Your
dexterity.
D20 versus your dexterity check.
Your dexterity bonus, basically.
So okay, so my,
He's gonna
my-
win this. I don't have very
So
good dex.
D20 plus 3 versus 17. Is that right?
War rolls
Just
a
roll a
12.
D20 and then just regular dexterity plus. So
I mean,
I have a plus 3 modifier on my.
okay, so
dexterity.
D20 plus 3 then. That's all it is. Not that hard.
Ah, I got a 10.
Oh!
Oh,
Billy Wub.
failed.
So War easily dodges the hand and just tucks it away.
Cadenza's tail's gonna hit War.
no, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's an unarmed strike, so
No,
War
well, I don't
summons the-
consider it an attack, like for
War
damage.
summons
It's
the
just more like a
glaive.
smack.
hey,
War summons the glaive, steps back and points it at all of you, and he goes, "I remember bartering this for me, not you."
hey, Harold. To be honest, the reason why I was trying to do an unarmed strike is because I just realized that my unarmed strike is literally 0 damage.
Oh.
wow.
So it's just for roleplay purposes.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I had to make the rule. So.
Yep.
Yep.
Anyways,
This entire time, Nether's just laughing.
well,
Well, there'll be
Alright.
plenty other treasure later on.
and afterwards he
But
pulls
War
out what
doesn't
appears
get
to
any
be.
more of it.
He pulls out he pulls out what appears to be a small, bundled up parchment paper and begins. He opens it up and places his hand upon it, and within a moment, there appears to be a rather detailed map that shows the outer portion of the city. That also shows what appears to be the location, the hideout. This will help you all.
You coming with us?
As much as I would like to, I must continue my own battles here. I have to gather what's left of our little family.
Oh, that's too bad. I wanted to get to know you better.
Too
You
bad
wanted to
indeed.
sleep
As
with
you
the
can tell, it's
Dragonborn
dripping with
Queen,
sarcasm.
Wait, I'm
Oh.
gonna put a hand on this Dragonborn's shoulder and say, "Can you give me tips on sneaking up on one of the silent?"
Well,
Yeah, it's not touchy-feely, man.
I know,
What
hands
the
up, he's
silence?
my partner.
well, with the silent, they're a rather odd lot. They
I would
never
as-
speak,
I would
as the
assume
name
so.
suggests, but they don't really seem to be too aware of you all.
Harold, this reminds me of the silence in Doctor Who.
I don't even watch Doctor Who.
This makes me
I
think of
kind of need, a permanent marker to start drawing tallies on my arm.
This makes me think of the golden harpy from Game of Thrones.
But he says, though, they do seem to behave in a way that's rather odd compared to our sort of lot. They don't back down from a fight or try to flee. If you are
Well,
not,
that's
you are
some
nothing
bullshit.
more. They're not to you and me. We're nothing more than an obstacle. Even if they're
Yeah.
outnumbered, they won't even try to flee. They'll
That's-
stay where they are.
That's some bullshit right there. I've
Do they
tried
have
following them,
spellcasters?
and they constantly flee.
Are you sure it was one of them?
Dude in a mask in the city, walking away. Doesn't say a single word. I'd
That's-
assume it's them.
Do they have spellcasters?
First time I ran into one of them, I got zapped several times and then teleported.
I'm
So-
not asking Rorik.
They do seem to have some sort of affinity. We're not sure what exactly, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's some spellcasters among them.
Hey,
Meanwhile, we're
Harold,
more
Yes.
sports.
what were those three?
It was a ruby, a diamond, and a sapphire.
Okay, cool.
He's going to try and find a diamond cutter.
I don't know why you're all so mad about him taking it. I remember War saying, I want upfront payment. You want upfront payment? Get your own.
Well, is there anything else that you need from me to make this job easier?
What's the main purpose of this? Who's the main target?
Ideally, I would at the very least like the elimination of the silent. Chop the head off.
So all of them.
Chop the head off, and the body dies. So in other words, take care of the leader.
One could also argue chop one head off, 3 more grow in its place. Who's
What
to say
is
that?
their leader?
Who's to say that if we get rid of the
Interestingly
silent,
enough-
more groups won't come up?
Interestingly enough, they have a single leader. They don't even divide themselves. And even then, we've never actually seen their leader.
Oh, great. So he's a silent and invisible.
Or he doesn't come out, so we don't know what the.
Sadly, only Nangam knows what it looks like.
Unlike our leader, who has balls. This one prefers to work behind the scenes, even more so, unlike compared to his servants.
They aren't a family like we are.
Precisely.
Hive mind.
That's a good way to describe them, yes.
Okay, out of character, why does this guy sound like Jazargo?
Believe it or not, that was kind of my intent.
I believe it.
Anyways. So,
Anyway, with that, I guess I'll go head to bed.
well,
Fidenza wants to take a bath.
all right. So you're all pretty much tucking in for the night.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
There's a few things that I want to do right before finally tucking off into bed, but we'll get to that when everybody
Okay,
else is
so-
away.
That sounds lewd.
Yeah.
Before
Heather's
we
gonna
leave,
Stay
Yeah,
downstairs
yeah, because I'm
and
gonna
talk.
go ahead and try and get Nether's sloppy seconds and then get on Mr. Cucumber's bad side. No.
Do it.
before we leave,
Oh,
I
wait, what
turn
did-
to Nether and I say, "Here, I got you a present," and I slip him the flag.
Oh, come on. Out of character. That's
You just
actually
hate
what
this.
I was planning on doing. I was gonna go over and put it underneath Nether's door.
How can you slide an entire flask under a door?
That's what I want to know. I'd be like,
The
dude, I want a
door's really
flask
high.
like that.
They're really high lifted doors.
No, they're not. They're normal doors.
Well,
I'm going
I
back to
think-
drinking.
I think perhaps it's time for me to depart. If
Wait.
Hmm?
So you're gonna go find everyone else?
gotta find what's left.
How are we gonna find you again?
Just like you always find me.
By chance?
Let's
I
just
was
say
gonna, like-
I'll be more inclined to meet you again, Nether, once we deal with this problem.
Like, pulls him in for a bro hug. It was good to see you.
You know I don't do well with hugs. And he just does an awkward pat before pulling back.
I know.
I'm gonna cross my arms and I'm gonna chuckle and go, I ship it.
Hey now. I know this
And
man.
I'll start.
I've grown up with this man. He's very straight.
May the Golden Prince be with you all. And he disappears through the door.
How would you know that they're straight, Nether? Have you tried?
I grew up with him.
Doesn't mean you couldn't have tried.
I grew up with
Now that he's gone, and I'm assuming everyone except, who was it?
What'd you say?
I kind of want to.
Oh, I cut out. Hold on.
Yeah.
So, now that he's gone, what do you all plan on doing now? Going to sleep?
Well,
or
Fidenza wants
Yeah, I'm
to
going
take
to
a
sleep.
bath
Okay, so Cadenza's taking a bath
Back to
I'm-
drinking.
with more absinthe.
with more absinthe. Okay.
I'm going upstairs. After Nether is gone into his room. I'm just gonna open the door a crack and put the other flask inside, just right next to the door.
More
Then I'm
alcohol.
gonna yes, more alcohol. And then I'm gonna head back to my room, and then I'm gonna head down to the bartender to ask for a patent quill.
All right. And you ask him for a pen and quill, so he provides that.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna head back upstairs, and I'm gonna start drawing the Guardian of the Forest.
Okay. Also, so Nether.
Mhm.
After when you find yourself when everyone's off doing their own thing and you're by yourself, you notice that something was put in your pocket.
More alcohol.
You
Really?
find what appears to be a small, a really small gemstone, and seems to be of jasper. And you find that, as well, what appeared to be a note that seemed to initially kept the jasper inside, but it seems to have it seemed to open up while in your pocket. You know that jasper is actually your friend's favorite gem. And you see a note.
I'm gonna like look around, see if like any of the other bar patrons are looking. I'm gonna read
You're in
it.
your room.
No one else is looking. Because you're by
No, I
yourself.
thought I'd see downstairs.
You see, by yourself, no one's looking. And in that note, it has a simple sentence. Nice mask. Thon.
He's just gonna chuckle. Like, God damn it, Vaughn. I was wondering when he was gonna point that out.
All right. So I'm assuming that you all are planning to now take a long rest.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Wait. Can I do a performance check to see if I'm able to sketch?
I would say make a
the
sleight of
Guardian
hand
the
check.
Forest? No, sleight of hand to draw
Yes.
because I'm drawing the character. I'm
Yes,
drawing
that's what I'm saying.
Okay. So sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Finger hand to draw.
Okay. Sleight of hand. Okay. Okay. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. 16.
16. Probably not your best work, but still pretty good. You definitely get the you capture the basic appearance and beauty of the shepherd.
All right. I'm going to fold it up and tuck it away in my coat,
All right.
and then I'm going to go into meditation.
Okay. So now we'll go ahead and do the time skip. Everyone, make sure you put in that you've done a long rest, because that heals you up and also takes care of your spell slot.
Oh yay, 9 health.
Yay!
Well, hey, I
And
got
also
my
your
spell
class.
slots back.
Yay! Now I'm full health again.
And when you
Spell slots, what are those? I don't have any.
You get those on short rests.
I
I
have
got-
two, but I don't know what they're used for yet.
Yeah.
Yay!
as you all find yourself fast asleep, you all it's one of those restful sleeps that you almost have to do a double check as to, wait, did I actually fall asleep? Where you close your eyes for one moment, boom, you wake up. No dreams, nothing out of the ordinary. You just wake up fully rested, and you notice among the windows that there's still the morning mist, as the clouds seem to be going over the city.
Well, once I wake up, I'm gonna get dressed and get ready, go downstairs and get ready to get some breakfast whenever the place opens up.
So you go ahead and have yourself some breakfast. What about the rest of you?
War's already down there.
Okay.
Hiddens is down there.
I'm going to take a bath and then go down to breakfast.
All right. Very
What
good.
I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over to the window and I'm gonna just
the
look
wall.
out the window, see if there's anybody else who's awake and walking around at this moment.
All right. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Do I even have to?
Yes.
Okay. Perception is +8, so I got a 20.
All right. You do see a few people out and about, but you see one that seems to be standing there. A cloaked figure. And it seems that you get the feeling that's staring directly at you.
God damn it!
And as you keep an eye contact with this person, within a moment among the crowd, the very few people that are there, so one passes by, the figure's gone.
Now this is some Spider-Man 3 shit going on here.
I was gonna say Batman.
Yeah, some Batman shit too.
I'm Batman. But I will say, from your roll, you are able to tell that the figure was wearing a simple mask.
What can you describe the mask to me?
Yeah. Give me one moment. Okay. The mask itself, it's not really. As mentioned before, it's not really something that really stands out. It seems to be almost as if it's made out of clay, and there's two holes that are obviously meant for the eyes, and one little bit of carving that shows to be the shape of a nose, as if the mask is meant to be fitted for that particular person.
Can I try and sketch it?
You can easily sketch it. In fact, it's so simple, in fact, that you can easily do it with you whatsoever.
All right, I'm gonna sketch it on another piece of paper so I can show it to Nether to confirm whether or not this is one of the Silent who's been stalking me.
Okay. And you do that quite easily.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and that's not on the paper that's in my cloak. It's just one of the other parchments.
Yes.
Okay.
So with that, you all make your way. So you're all downstairs now, eating the breakfast. And what do you?
Look around to see if the water genasi is there?
I want to go downstairs and do that as well.
Yeah.
You look around. There's still no sign of her.
I think she is pregnant. This is just
She needs to be. That would be too good.
Brother's too young to be a dad.
Nope.
Yet he keeps wanting to be the daddy.
Oh God.
You're all degenerates.
I know.
Oh come on, this is not that bad.
Anyways, so as of right now, seems to be no one else that really catches your attention as you eat. What do you all plan on doing?
Well, do we have enough time before the job to go and shop?
It's up to you. Remember that with that you're like I said, your choices matter in this. So your actions and when you decide to do these missions will also impact.
Yes.
The blacksmith.
Gems of
I
treasure.
definitely think that we should take care of that giant pearl that we recovered from underground, because I have a feeling that Davy Jones down there might get a little pissed if we don't take care of that as soon as possible.
But I still do need to gear up. I haven't been able to
I should
get
mention
that
that one he asked you to go.
Huh?
I should remind you he did that. That was the one. To
We
go
have
to.
a place to bring it to,
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, and that's far north.
Okay.
so we have to bring it with us.
So
Should've
we can
sent it
take
there.
care of that when we go far north and figure out what's going on with the stuff with the what are they called again?
The silent.
No, not the silent. When we go far north, we can go investigate what's going on with the priests
Yeah.
Yeah.
for the Inquisition.
Anyway, yeah, I do need to go to the armorer or blacksmith.
Yeah, blacksmith, possibly apothecary.
Also,
Blacksmith.
I need to go to a place to buy a mount.
Blacksmith is where I'm going.
All right, the blacksmith's where you're going. So I'm assuming everyone did. So let's see. That's Keiko, Nether,
Kahime.
and what about you, War?
I want to get
Cadenza.
these gems praised.
Rorik.
What'd you say, War?
I want to get these gems appraised.
Okay, so you'll be going to a jeweler, all right?
Mhm.
And for you, Mark, where did you say you're going?
So I'm actually planning on going to the blacksmith, because this is the guy that I bought the armor and the arbalest off, right?
Yeah.
Alright, awesome.
Okay. So, all right. So let's go ahead and start with War.
Mhm.
So
Hey
you
guys, I'm gonna have to go for the night. I'm
okay?
being
Oh,
summoned and I'm like falling half asleep.
Fair enough. Well,
Sorry.
see you next time.
That's all right.
Alright. Later, Tater.
Alright.
You have a good night.
pet Luna for me.
Will do. Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Night.
Or we'll wrap it up soon because I'm assuming everyone's getting tired.
She's
Yeah,
being
totally.
summoned.
Anyway, let's go on. Finish up
Anyways.
at least this little bit.
So you go to what appears to be as you're within the what's considered the upper class, the district, you easily find a jeweler. And you enter the shop, and you see among the glass cases various kind of gemstones that are already crafted, rings, or and necklaces, some amulets, and pretty much a variety of jewelry from the whole 9 yards. And as you enter, there you see what appears to be appears to be a half elf, and he appears to be looking and inspecting a diamond rather closely. And then, hearing the door open, he turns to look up at you, and you see that you see his rather soft blue eyes and his blonde hair seemingly in a rather neat ponytail. And he looks up at you, says, "Welcome. How can I? Oh my goodness!" And he seems to be startled because you're still covered in the blood and gore of your clothing, from the day before.
Shouldn't be on the armor because the armor is magic.
Oh, okay. So not the armor, but still on the cloak and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Can I help you? You're not here to rob me, are you?
Not this time.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say this time?
Who knows what I'll be here for later. But anyway, business. And I'm going to step up to the counter and put down the 3 gems. And I'm just going to appraise those for me. And don't try to rip me off.
And before the jeweler accuses who are thieving.
He can
Go
try.
ahead and make an intimidation check at advantage.
Yeah.
Because you're scaring the living hell out of him.
23.
Okay. It's almost as if he's ready to pee his pants as he nods quickly and looks over the gemstones. Yes, of course. Okay. Wow, these are certainly of good quality. I do not see any real flaws, especially. And he's continuing muttering to himself, and he turns and looks at you. Okay, so the diamond itself, if it's cut and made into a fine jewel, it will certainly be worth about, I would say, 1,000 gold, at
How's it
least.
worth now?
As of right now, let's see. He looks a little bit more at it. I would say at least double that,
So what, 2,000?
or even 3,000.
3,000?
Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
would say so. And he looks over the sapphire and the ruby as well, both of which are uncut. So, and he looks up and says,
Whose kitty is that?
Mine.
Aw.
each of these would be worth I would say, as they are right now, about 5,000 gold each.
They're worth more than a diamond?
Well, yes, but that's partly because of this particular region. And also, rubies and sapphires are used a bit more for enchantments than diamonds. Diamonds are usually used is used for aesthetics, while rubies and sapphires are much more spellcasters.
Fair
because-
enough. Oh well. Have you got enough to buy them all?
I would say not as of right now, but I would just have to speak to my to the owner, and I'm sure we can arrange something.
I'll give you one of.
Oh, okay, very good. Which one would you like?
You said the rubies and the sapphires are more used in enchantments than diamonds, yeah?
Yes, that is correct.
You can have the diamond.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. And he starts. You can tell from the look on his face. He's trying to calculate the numbers in his head, and
3,000.
and he begin, and then he goes into the back and pulls out what appears to be a rather nice, the small bag. Like it seems to be of a velvet, and opens it up and starts pulling out stacks upon stacks upon stacks of gold coins for you, which you would be, I would say, calculate up to 4,500 gold.
Damn. A little bit extra.
Yeah. Well, you did scare the shit out of him. He doesn't want to piss you off.
Okay. Well, I'll slide in the diamond and take the money.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. I'm going to, I don't know, wink at him, which I guess from war is a blink, so...
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Alright. And as the rest of you start making your way to towards the blacksmith, you notice something's off.
Oh shit! Is there another silent stalking us now?
It's still closed.
What the
What?
hell?
I'm gonna go up and knock on the door.
No response.
Is it a 2-story building or is it a 1-story?
It is a 1-story, and it's normally quite open, because you remember seeing that it's really just there's one door on the side that you can tell is probably meant for living space, while there's the big opening as well, but that seems to be barred off.
Well,
I'm gonna.
can I do something here? Could I ask a general NPC that might be passing by what might have happened to the store and why it's not open?
Yeah, you catch you catch an individual who seems to be one of the who seems to be someone who definitely belongs in the district, and you ask him about it, and he happens to be you can tell he's a human with the little bit of a patchwork beard that it's obvious he's trying to grow, but it's obviously not working out, and turns and looks at the blacksmith, at the smith, and he just shakes his head. Honestly, I don't know what's going on. It's been closed for the past 3 days.
That's odd. Anyway, I guess I'll have to find another blacksmith. Do you know if there's any other blacksmith around that could possibly be open?
None that do his kind of work.
That's sad.
I would like. Let's see, who's right next to the building?
Probably
I am.
because I just knocked on the door.
Okay,
I was,
Kika,
I was in the middle of walking around to the side to
Okay.
the other door. So
So I want War to roll for perception.
I ain't here.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
I'm sorry, not War. I thought I said Corn. My bad.
okay. So that's another. How much is that? That's my +8. 22.
22. Okay. And for you, War. Oh, no, War Corn. Ugh! Why do you guys have similar names?
This is the War of the
Yeah,
Corns here.
Not similar at all.
You said perception, right? Okay.
Yes. 13. Okay. So you notice, Corn, a putrid smell. And as for you, Rorik, as you make your way around the side with one of the windows, seems to be covered in black. A splatter. And it seems to have dried.
Guys, there's blood here.
Uh-oh.
I think
And with that, we'll end the session there for tonight.
Oh!
I'm